Welcome back to Don't Look Under the Wig. It's a wig, don't look under it. I'm joining you here today dressed as Beethoven because I'm basic. He's my favorite, I think he's the best. Now, listen to me when I tell you that I could go on and on and on and on and on about this man. I know so many little fun facts and really long, too long for this sort of stories. Someday I hope to tell you about the rainy concert in Vienna where he premiered the 6th and 5th symphonies. And so today, I'm going to talk a little bit about the 3rd Symphony, Eroica, and Fidelio, the only opera that Beethoven ever completed, because the events sort of feed right into the next one. So hopefully it'll be fun to listen to. All right, so let's get into this. Apologies in advance because I'm going to get excited. There's just no way I won't. All right, the year is 1805. Beethoven is 35, and a lot is going on this year, okay? And there's a lot to keep in mind here, like what's going on in the world. Well, now we have to remember that Beethoven is a musician. Like, he may be the most prolific composer pianist in the Viennese culture at the time. He's famous, well regarded, everybody wants him, but he's still a musician, which means he's still a working class guy. The French Revolution is well underway. Beethoven is a fan. Beethoven was involved in what was going on. He was interested, he had friends at the French embassy. He was really excited about this sort of new possible world where we didn't have the aristocracy and this culture classism that he very much lived in at the time. I mean, like, sure, like he was a genius in creating these incredible works and highly regarded, but he was still just a musician, so, you know, use the back door. You know, so we're a fan of Bonaparte at this time. We're a fan of Napoleon and what he's doing, and we like the idea. You know, Beethoven was 35 at this point, so he was already losing his hearing pretty significantly. It started when he was 29. I just can't imagine that you wouldn't be such an incredibly vulnerable human being when you have to face losing your hearing as a incredible genius composer. So why wouldn't he just believe wholeheartedly in everything he believed in? We are wrinkly, we are mad, we are playing with light and shadow. Did y'all know he was 5'4"? He was 5'4". He was a little guy. All right, so we like what's going on. We like the idea, we like Napoleon. We've got the 3rd Symphony coming up. Let's call it Bonaparte. Now, when Beethoven found out that Napoleon had crowned himself emperor, you know, another dictator, same old story, he was horrified. He didn't want anything more to do with this guy. He was like, done. All right, now here's the best part. When he heard that Napoleon was doing what we did not want anymore, he went to the score that he wrote the 3rd Symphony in. It was called Bonaparte. It was in the score. And he furiously scratches it out. There's a hole in the paper. You can see it. Go Google it. Just a true testament to how he was like, absolutely not. I've seen what I needed to see. Immediately no. Y'all know me. I gotta have some glitter. I think he would have liked it. The power in this symphony too. Like, he's my favorite because he was a game changer. It was just like things that no one had ever heard before. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. I mean, stop me right now and go listen to it and then come back. It's interesting to think whether or not Beethoven would have written such explosive music had it not been for, you know, the world events that was going around at the time. You know, he was pushing orchestral music forward. He was mastering the ability to make the sound exactly how he wanted you to feel. So that was all April of 1805, and in November of 1805 is when Fidelio premiered. Let's talk about Fidelio, because it's all kind of intertwined. Fun fact, Fidelio was commissioned by the same gentleman who commissioned Mozart's Magic Flute. His name was Emanuel Schikaneder. We're doing our best. It took about a year and a half for him to write, but it was completed in 1805. So Fidelio is a rescue story, and Beethoven is stereotyped as this sort of grump, but The music is described as incredibly hopeful, and I think it's evident in the opera as well. Oh yeah. This is the look. You better work, wig. You know, we're talking about 1805, but this is more like a late 18 teens look. He sort of let his hygiene go at that time. He didn't really care about what he looked like. His friends would swap out his clothes in the night, and he would just put on the new clothes in the morning without even noticing. Couldn't be bothered. Ooh, this is a new wig. She is performing well. All right, we're getting there. I'm sorry, but I instantly feel cooler. Does it show? Okay, let's talk about Fidelio. I read somewhere a bass who had played Pizarro said that there aren't really lines or arias. It's more like explosive, emotional eruptions, which is just like a very cool, different way of writing of the time. Here's another great quote I have written down. The idea that love is greater than injustice, than tyranny. This is so deeply felt by Beethoven and is self-evident in the opera. This opera is a dream, the illusion that human progress leads to ever greater happiness, which is very difficult to believe in these days. However, Beethoven wanted to express the great hopes of those times, which was brought about by the French Revolution. See how everything is sort of influencing itself? Fidelio is absolutely beautiful. You know, Beethoven struggled with it. There was a lot of reworking and leading up to it, and when it finally premiered November 20th, 1805, a week before, the French army had invaded Vienna. So there was almost no one in the audience except a few members of a repressive French army. Fidelio had 3 performances, and then it closed. But Beethoven was discontented with it. He continued to work on it for over a decade. Just some quick fun facts about Beethoven, just because I think they're fun. He was a terrible tenant. There was a million places to go and see still today because he had to move a lot. He was known for banging a cane on the floor and being loud and untidy. He loved to eat and drink and be at the tavern and visit with his friends. We have letters still today that we can read where he says, "The food here sucks, the wine here is good." I think the caricature of Beethoven is this sort of messy, grumpy guy, but I think at the end of the day, he was a very hopeful person, and that's evident in his works. Thank you guys so much for watching. Go listen to Eroica, go listen to parts of Fidelio. Maybe I'll do another Beethoven episode sometime because there's just so much. Anyway, mwah. Auf Wiedersehen.